Get started. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Greetings from National Skills Network Hyderabad and TalentSprint Hyderabad. Jointly with TalentSprint today, Team NSN has organized this webinar to create more awareness about careers in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. I'm sure most of you are interested to know more about how these domains are coming up. What are the kind of applications these have across industries, like let's say, right from healthcare to agriculture to retail to you name it. Every industry today is influenced by artificial intelligence, right? So we have with us team members from TalentSprint and team members from National Skills Network, along with a guest who's just getting into a job and he has completed his internship. And before that, he got himself trained at TalentSprint. So let's meet Deepayan today, Deepayan Karmarkar, along with Ritvik from TalentSprint, Pratyusha from National Skills Network, Ajay, who's managing the whole show at the back end, and Aziz, who's been coordinating this entire webinar. So let's get started. Pratyusha, let's go ahead with the introduction about the guest, and also Ritvik, maybe you can follow Pratyusha and then give us your insights from the industry, from the requirements for training, the kind of demand we see for professionals in AI and emerging technologies, and also the industry applications. So over to you, Pratyusha.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you for the nice introduction, and I would like to welcome Deepayan and Ritvik once again. So, first of all, I would like to get started by speaking a bit about artificial intelligence and how it is impacting our day-to-day life. So today, AI has become an integral part of our daily lives. With the increased adoption of artificial intelligence across various industries, the demand for skilled artificial intelligence professionals is also skyrocketing. So, and in 2022, more than 96% of organizations are looking to hire professionals with the right skill set in artificial intelligence, making this year the perfect time to add artificial intelligence skills on the list of skills that a person might want to pursue going ahead. So keeping the growing demand of artificial intelligence in mind, today's our webinar will focus on the scope and future roadmap of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies as a career option. So like Madhuri ma'am said, we will be talking with Deepayan Karmakar, who has completed a program in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies by IIT Hyderabad and TalentSprint. And soon he will be joining AT&T as a senior associate. And his journey throughout the program and his experience of launching a career in the domain would definitely be a guiding factor for our audience who want to embark on a similar journey. But before starting our conversation with Deepayan, I would like to invite Ritvik to share his views on the growing demand of artificial intelligence and the scope for skill development and employability in the domain. So over to you, Ritvik.
Well, thank you so much, Pratyusha, and thanks a lot for Madhuri also for setting the context here. I'm glad to be connecting here on this platform with all the viewers, and once again, I'm happy to see Deepayan. A few weeks back also, we had the opportunity to connect with each other and discuss how the program experience has been. So, yes, I think very quickly, artificial intelligence is no longer a buzzword or it's no longer a science fiction thing, right? So I think just about 10 years back, I was still in my college, and it did sound like this is still only in the movies or it is still in some fiction books, but it's not really where we see in the day-to-day applications. But today we are seeing that huge difference. And no matter which sector it is, whether it is at an enterprise level or it is at a citizen level, we are seeing the impact of artificial intelligence in our day-to-day life. And I think all of you also can relate, right? From your voice commands, from your smart television, the kind of recommendation systems that keep coming. If you think of it now, you can see a search result appear on your screen. And this is really fascinating. And the good news is that a lot of these developments are actually happening in India, right? India is now actually in a position to take leadership in the global AI research and development. So a lot of funding is happening. I think in the year 2020, we have seen close to $863 million funds, which the startups in India were able to raise, which are AI focused startups. So you can see how the phenomena is growing across all the organizations, across all the industries. We are seeing a very fast adoption of AI technology and a lot more investment coming in. So this is really going to be the future. And a lot of research reports are available already in 2022, the year we are. There is a huge requirement of close to 8 lakh professionals in AI. And more good news that all of you would be excited is that a lot of these companies are now looking forward to hire younger professionals, people who are finishing college this year or in the near future, or those who are already finished last 2 or 3 years. So a lot of people are ready to invest in young talent, those who are learning, those who have the appetite to learn, those who are already proving their skills and their desire to be in this AI domain. So I think that's really the good news in terms of market opportunities. But like I said, also the fact remains that India is a very competitive space, right? So if you're talking about IT sector, yes, for the last 2 decades already, IT has been one major growth engine for the country itself. And a lot of engineering institutions, we are seeing that are able to provide a career path for people to get into the IT industry. But today, if we see, things are slightly different, right? Now, coding is something that is now looked at like something that is like a next ABCD. It like how you learn arithmetic, how you learn language. Coding or programming is also something that young children are expected to learn. In fact, there are a lot of providers who are now giving coding training to students right at school. And the recently launched national education policy is also recommending that coding be taught to students right from class 6 itself or even younger. So in this phenomena, if somebody really wants to prove their mettle and say, I need a breakthrough in AI or emerging technologies, it's really about showing how competitive they can be and what quality of skill set they can possess. So in that regard, as a company at TalentSprint, we have always focused on coming up with programs which are really impactful. Right? Of course, there are a lot of sources now where people can go ahead and learn. The foundational learning, a lot of materials. Those who are driven by self, I think we expect that is expected already that students are already aware of what is artificial intelligence and what are these key applications, right? And now it is no longer a new. You don't have to really spend a lot of effort to find out these kind of things, but you do really need a lot of guidance and handholding for you to learn to what extent you can go, what the depth you can go, the kind of projects you do, right? The kind of exposure you get while doing this, that is going to make the difference. So as a company, we have been always focused on coming up with these kind of programs. One such program has been with IIT Hyderabad. And IIT Hyderabad, I think those of you who are not aware, was the first institution in the country to have launched a full-fledged BTech in AI/ML program. Today, we are seeing a lot of other colleges are also picking up and starting departments in AI or data science or machine learning. But IIT Hyderabad was the first institution in the country to do so. And they are the leaders, definitely, and they've been doing great work. And 3 years back, we have launched this wonderful program called Professional Certification in AI and Emerging Technology. It is probably it's one of the most uniquely designed programs where there is a coverage of range of technologies with heavy focus on AI. It's open to students from all backgrounds as well, like as in from STEM, not just engineering. So if you're a student from science, if you're a student from mathematics, you're also welcome. So basically, somebody with a strong grounding in mathematics is required for this. And the program is attracting wonderful talent. Deepayan is one of such kind of student who was part of this program, and he tasted the success. We'd like to hear from him also. And particularly, I think uh, we are trying to give a complete package, the kind of IIT experience in itself. Learn from people who are like the gurus in this domain, right? They are people who are capable of writing books and getting patents and publications on their name. So they are that very highly qualified people. It's a great opportunity for anybody to learn from them and really spend time and work together among an exceptional peer group and do some projects together. So through this program, I think we've been able to attract some good quality students, and a lot of companies are there which are now coming forward and are looking forward to recruit students from this particular program. And Deepayan, I think, can tell more about how his experience was and what kind of opportunities he was able to get. If any other questions are there, comments are there, which I can share or throw some light on, I'll be happy to do that.
Sure, Ritik, sure. We'll get back to you towards the end of this webinar, because I'm sure our audience would like to know more about the course that is in line with like IIT Hyderabad and TalentSprint on AI and emerging technologies. So now let us meet Deepayan Karmakar, who has completed his program in AI and emerging technologies with IIT Hyderabad and TalentSprint. And let us get started with asking him a very basic question that I'm sure will come to anyone's mind. So Deepayan, why choose artificial intelligence and emerging technologies in particular, and why did you go for the program, the AI and emerging technologies program by IIT Hyderabad and TalentSprint?
Thank you, Pratyusha. Hi, everyone. I am Deepayan. Yes, as you were told, I have completed my 6 months certification program from IIT Hyderabad in association with TalentSprint. So after completing that, I would like to mention that the placement assistance and the company opportunity was also given by TalentSprint, where I opted for. And also the full placement assistance was there before the interview, and also guidance about how to crack it and how to go over all the interview phases. So I'd really like to thank TalentSprint for this great opportunity. And yes, AT&T was the company which I have heard of before also, and I was very interested about the company because as usual, it's a very large company and it has several aspects and several sectors where I can go to. And it's like a great field to improve yourself. So in a way, I actually worked really hard for this company. Like I went through the requirements, I worked hard, and also the interview phases I gave after getting the guidance from the TalentSprint. So it went really well after that. And yes, finally, I got selected over there as senior associate in applied maths and stats. So I haven't joined yet. My joining is in 27th of June. And so in Bangalore. Apart from this, I would like to start by how I got interested by this particular program. And also before that, I would like to talk about AI for some time. From school life, I was really interested in computer things like the IT things in broad. I would really interact with the command line interface. That would interest me a lot, like the command prompt in Windows, also the terminal in Linux. So all those things I have interacted with on my school life. And I started to realize that there are things which you can interact with. There are things in softwares which you can build upon your own imagination, and you can work on your way with whatever you want. So that interested me very much, and I wanted to pursue my career as a IT professional, but things got out of the way once I was in before high secondary. Once I was appearing for the JEE Mains and the WBJ, the state JEE exam of ours. So on that time I got distracted, I know. So my marks wasn't that good, and I felt like really depressed, and things were not really going well on that time. So I just told my father, like, I don't have any particular ambition at this moment. Just put me whatever you like in whatever field or whatever category you like. So I just took it up to my father, and he chose that electrical engineering would be good because it was a core subject, and also like all fathers wants like government jobs, right? So my father's choice was electrical engineering, and I got admitted in BTech in 2018 as an electrical engineering student in GMIT back in here in my state, West Bengal. So that's how my journey began in a completely different sector. I was in the electrical, there is nothing much of CSC or IT in there. Like on the first semester, we get to learn about C, somewhat like the basic C programming. But apart from that, there is not much. So all the things I was exploring from my school life. So that didn't discontinue. I explored more about cloud technologies, which was emerging back there at that time in 2018. It was like really growing up, and the summer internships, the events were there at Google, which were very exciting. So I also participated in those and actually tried to grow on more over the cloud technology. So once I had a very grasp of the total architecture of the how a cloud computing actually works and how the total infrastructure is getting controlled and also operationalized. So after that, I really had some interest on the artificial intelligence at the time, because like on the 2018 time, the most word, like the most emerging word that we are talking about was artificial intelligence and IoT. So that was a really hot topic at that time, and I really took dive into the artificial intelligence and I tried to explore what it was. So on that scale, what the concept, the first grew in my mind once I had a go about artificial intelligence is that any type of imagination that is coming on your mind, we can now create it into a software program or any kind of thing that was not possible before, like systematically, or like how we create a program. We create a particular general syntax, we try to throw the logic in it, we implement the logic in it, and that's how it goes. But what if there are datas and there is no logic? There is no logic that we have created before so that we can implement it and go forward. So that's where the problem began, and the solution was artificial intelligence, because we are really creating a black box, sorry for that, and which is rearranging itself in a particular way so that the output can be given, the prediction can be given. So that's a really great thing, and that's a really advanced thing, and that interested me very much. And on that time when I was studying it a bit, exploring it a bit, I got a mail from TalentSprint, I believe, about this cohort 3 program that was going to happen. So for that, they also had a exam, and I thought that I was interested, so I appeared for the exam. And the next day, I got a call that I cracked the exam and I can join this particular program. So that got me, I was very hooked up for this. And also that will be a work front. We were in the corona situation, the COVID outbreak was going on, so we were really at home, and there was nothing more that I could do anywhere else. So I thought that staying here at home, I'm getting this particular opportunity to getting aligned with IIT Hyderabad and also do a course over there. So that was really great for me, and I opted for it. So the 6 months went really great. The total structure of the program was really nice, from basic maths, from basic algorithms, also from the basic Python code. We went to really great and complicated prospects of artificial intelligence, like audio processing, text processings, NLPs, and all those things. So that was a really great, exciting adventure that we had on those 6 months duration. Also, the last was really exciting. There was a capstone project that we got to do in teams. Like we were all studying from home, so we didn't get to see each other, and we didn't get to know each other that much. But those projects really helped us a lot to integrate within ourselves to make something really good. So we chose extracting named entity relation from text, that project. We worked on it, and yes, after that I got graduated from AIT, this program. And also, as I said, after that, eventually I got admitted into AT&T. I got selected over there. Also, in the meanwhile, there was a problem because I was in third year at the time. I was emerging in fourth year. But AT&T has a very specific requirement. They need the graduation exam, like the last 8 semester exam, to be completed in order to get you hired or get you onboarded. So that was that was an obstacle. So there was a chance that I could get rejected on that time from that place. So I was really not nervous at that time, but they discussed on the BAU team and they decided that they will wait for me. And the time that they gave to me was 27th of June, which I'm currently waiting now. So I thought that, so now I'm getting this 3 months of time before I get joined into AT&T. So I thought, why not just try to other companies and see if an internship that I can get, so to build up my opportunities. So there I got a company called Gravitas AI who was posting a job about chatbot developers. And I went through the requirement. There was NLP, the natural language processing. That was a requirement of theirs. So I thought that that was a really exciting thing that we did in back in our program. So I thought, why not apply over here? So I applied over there. I got selected eventually, and I will, like, went through all and many other things that was taught by my seniors on that work, which was like, professional field, like on more details about NLP and how we can use a particular library to create something out of anywhere, like out of the blue. We are creating a new thing, a new conversational flow with a library, and that is really unique. Also, apart from that, we had to create our own libraries. So that was new to me. I haven't created any libraries before Python, which we could implement. So there was some time when the client gave us requirements like uh, the requirements were like something unique, which we haven't come up before. So we had to create our own library to get past that. So all those things happened, and it was really exciting. We also did complete 2 projects on that company. So overall, my skills grew at that time, and now I'm waiting to join in this AT&T and hope for the best. Yeah, that's all from my end.
Yeah. So congratulations for your placement, Deepayan. It was like a very detailed your experience. You shared it in a very detailed manner, and I'm pretty sure students who are in their last semester or who have just started searching for their first job would relate to all the struggles, all the ups and downs you went in your own career. So now that you told us about the technical skills that you acquired while pursuing the artificial intelligence and emerging technology course, could you also tell us, like, other than the technical courses, what other skills you learned, like life skills? What are the life skills you learned while in the program?
Sure.
Yeah, Pratyusha, I would also like to add to
Yeah,
this.
sure.
So Deepan, it was really interesting to hear, and also the COVID background in which things were happening. I'm sure what Pratyusha is saying is also connecting to, for every student, for every first job seeker, whether you're coming from the engineering stream or from STEM subjects, and you have a passion and interest to explore technologies like what you just told us, there are also a set of other skills which are non-technical, right, which we call as soft skills or employability skills and all. So what are some of those skills, which you felt that, were very helpful, especially during that phase when you had to keep up with, let's say, pressure at home, or, working from home, and then looking for a job, and then trying to get an internship, so many things you were doing parallelly. So you can maybe tell us more about that phase as well.
Sure. So I don't know if that will be really personal, but let's just go into a broad aspect of this. Like for study, as I'm studying BTech right now, so for that I can't be in my hometown because the college that I'm studying, it's in Kolkata, but my hometown is far away from that. It's like 180 miles away from that place. So I have to stay in my own place. I rent a place over there. I stay on my own. So on the COVID time also, I was alone on that home, and yeah, that was a really frustrating. And what can I say, you all must have endured it sometime in that phase. Like that went really tough on me. Also, apart from that, on that time we were not really economically that much stable because of the COVID. We got hit, and there were some kind of problems like that in our family. So I had to look up for my own. I had to search for a job at that time in order to survive, in order to go through that period. So in total, that time went like I had to attend my college things and also get all the projects assignments done. Apart from that, I was studying here in IIT Hyderabad in this particular cohort 3. And also apart from that, I was doing a job which was there for my living. So in that period, I felt so much pressure that also my attendance here got down. Like I couldn't attend all of the classes. I had to watch recordings in order to go through this. But towards, I will just give a recommendation over here. Like if you are able to join the live classes, anyone who is pursuing or trying or will want to join this program. So anyone who is able to join the live classes, please do go and join it, because in live classes, you get to interact with the professor. And if you have any specific question in mind, you can get answered. But in recordings, you don't. Like there can be a feedback channel where you can ask your question and you get a letter, you get a response letter, but it will always be better if you just watch the live classes. And that was also really something I missed. Like I couldn't ask some questions which come up in my mind when I was watching the recording. So there's that. Apart from that, there were, I would also say that the batchmates I got, they were really fine and they were really cooperative, I must say, because whenever I got into any problem or I think I missed out on something, there was some event which I couldn't attend, then I would get notified by some of my batchmates. So that was something I really appreciate. And I would also like to mention that here as well. And that helped me a lot to go over this whole thing. And in total, in conclusion, I would like to say that also during the project time and also on the study time when we were preparing for all the things, the coordination between the students, and also I must mention the faculties, the professors of IITs, who also the faculties who were giving us the lectures, also presenting the screen, and also the sessions overall. So they were really helpful and they were really cooperative, and also they were being very casual to us so that we can be comfortable and ask the questions that we want. So that was a very friendly situation that we have here. And I think I would miss it a lot, and I would like reminisce about it a lot in my time. Like I passed through the 6 months program. That's all from my end.
So of course, with the course from TalentSprint at IIT Hyderabad, I'm sure you must have learned many things. So going to our next question, how was your experience in learning from professors directly from IIT Hyderabad?
I would like to really mention one event here. We were having a session of audio processing, or first of all, we were started by the grammar of vocabulary and punctuations. So that, and once the session was over, it was usually like a 3-hour session that we had. And at the end of the time, the professor would discuss with us what are the subjects that were taught, and we would discuss about things. So, and at that time, once professor gave us his own email, and also said to us, also gave us this opportunity that if we think about some project, if we think about cooperating with him or coordinating with him and make a project, then we can send an email to that email address that he gave, and he made it open for all who was attending and who was watching the recording or the session. So that was really great. And I thought also, apart from excluding and also not being a IITian, that was really great opportunity to get something out of an IIT professor. So that is a really great opportunity that I had. Also, apart from that, the the faculties were very specific about topics, and it was really taught in a way that anyone without any kind of specific technical background can understand the whole topic if he or she just starts from the start. Like that was explained in a very brief and also in a very specific on point way. So I like that very, very much. And almost every teachers were like that. And the help that we got was immense, I must say that. Also, there is also one thing, the teaching type or the structure that they teach, that was not really common to any other. Like I couldn't find any other session on YouTube or any other platform like that, those who could deliver a lecture like that. So that was really great.
Yeah. So you said you are of course you'll be excited to join AT&T. So before joining AT&T, you said you were in another job, and could you tell us your experience in that job? And also one question I wanted to ask you is like, do you have any particular project of your own which you want to pursue going forward, like in the future?
Sure. So let's about the first job that I was doing after the program. So I was appointed as a chatbot developer in Gravitas AI, where my main job was to make up or produce chatbots, also associated with the codes or the conversational flow, which was I preferred Python, so I have written the code in Python. And the chatbot was mainly two projects that I have previously mentioned. The first one was of ophthalmology. It was a bot which could answer questions and give us information about ophthalmology. And apart from that, there will be
Pratyusha looks like he's got disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Till he gets reconnected, maybe I have a question for Ritvik. So Ritvik, let's look at, the broader picture of how, students who are not from engineering, like you mentioned, students who are from STEM subjects can also, get into this, provided they have that passion, like what Deepayan was saying, a lot of creativity, lot of interest and things. So what is the way for them? How do they approach? Like, do they write entrance exams, or what kind of guidance can you give, right? I mean, from the perspective of the training industry and what the industry wants, of course.
Yeah. Thanks for asking that question, Madhuri. So while Deepayan was speaking, there were a couple of things which I thought I should again, showcase. It's a really wonderful thing. It's not about the technical skills first, but it's about the mindset, right? So I think when we are 17 or 18-year-old, all of us would have written an IITB. Most of us would have thought, let's give it a shot. For whatever reason, most people may or may not get it. Because end of the day, it's a result of a 3-hour exam, and if you even miss 1 mark, your ranks slip by 1,000 or more, and the chances are very, very difficult. But what we observed and what Deepan was saying is, you are still pursuing your passion, you're still pursuing your dream, right? You have to get it. So when you have an opportunity like that, you exploit it. So that's the one really important mindset, that you look at what's out there in the market. You do your preliminary research, right? You understand what it is, if it excites you enough, and then you continue to persevere and chase your dreams. I think this sort of a mindset is very important. And another very, very important character that we observe from Deepan is how he looks at his time available, right? So time is the most precious commodity that all of us have, if you want to call it that way. And he's got a job already, right? Like 3 months or he's got 1 month more, right? June 27th is what he said. So exactly 1 month. And he doesn't look like, I've got 1 month, so let me go around, do something, and then come back because eventually I have to start working, and then I start diving into it. He's looking at, like, I've got some time, how do I make the most of this? So I think that sort of an attitude is a very, very important. Like, we all have 24 hours a day. This program is also designed for people who can go through it along their main, whether if they're already working alongside their work, if they're a college student, then alongside their regular academics. So I think these sort of mindset is what matters the most, right? If they have these kind of a thinking that, I'm ready to put in my hard work, I value the time, and I will pursue my dreams, right, until I get it. So if they have this sort of a mindset, then they will find paths on their own, saying, how do I get myself to skill, and so that I can get into this type of a cohort. So whether or not they're from engineering or within engineering, also there is a general thought that people from computer science or IT, it is for them to have a career in AI. But within engineering, it's already open to all the branches. Whether if they are from other departments also, if they are having that intent, and if they're ready to put in that hard work, and go through all the publicly available information, whether it's YouTube or any other, even buy a book perhaps from a library and just go through it, get that foundational learning, and then they can really prove to themselves that they're qualified enough to be part of this. Right. Yeah. So as per our program, we have the eligibility criteria. Of course, there are certain boundary conditions. We do want students to have a certain academic record, like a 60 percentage throughout 10th, 12th, and graduation. We do see whether they have the what do you say, the quantitative ability or verbal ability which is required, because those are certain basic things for us, for a student to be able to cope. Although the program itself is providing the foundational learning on mathematics and programming, we do still expect some level of qualification. So there is an entrance test, but the test is open to all the departments within STEM courses. And so if anybody, they can just visit our website. I think the admissions are already open, by the way. And June itself, the next cohort is going to start. So if there's anybody who's already thinking about this, then I request them to quickly go through our website and start applying. They have to book a test slot. They have to give the test, and if they do well in the test, then they get the offer to join. So they need not be from engineering alone. It is open to other departments, but they have to go through this test.
Yeah. Thank you, Ritvik, and Deepayan is back. But before Pratyusha gets started again with the conversation, I just saw that there is a request on our live saying, please, tell us in Hindi. So I just saw that and I thought I'll quickly summarize. And Pratyusha, maybe you can also summarize a bit while you speak, with Deepayan in Hindi. तो आज हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. इसमें जो भी करियर्स है, जो भी नए जॉब्स आ रहे हैं, उसमें आप कैसे तैयारी कर सकते हो, और जो कोर्सेज टैलेंट स्प्रिंट की तरफ से है, जो आईआईटी हैदराबाद और टैलेंट स्प्रिंट के द्वारा दी जा रही है, उन सब कोर्सेज के बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं. लेकिन इन सब को कॉन्टेक्स्ट में डालने के लिए हमने इन्वाइट किया है दीपांकर को, दीपायन को, जिन्होंने यहाँ से कोर्स किया और उनको अभी नौकरी भी मिल गई और उन्होंने इंटर्नशिप भी किया है. तो इनकी सक्सेस स्टोरी के द्वारा हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि अगर आपको आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज के डोमेन में इंटरेस्ट है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको इंजीनियर ही होना चाहिए. आप कोई भी स्टेम सब्जेक्ट पढ़कर भी इन सब कोर्सेज में आप एडमिशन ले सकते हो. लेकिन एक चीज बहुत जरूरी है कि आपको बहुत सारा इंटरेस्ट और पैशन होना चाहिए. जैसे आपको इंटरेस्ट होना चाहिए क्रिएटिविटी में और इनोवेटिव आइडियाज में और सॉल्यूशंस, आपको कैसे सॉल्यूशंस डेवलप करें, इन सब अगर एरियाज में आपको इंटरेस्ट है तो आप ये कोर्स जरूर ट्राई कीजिए. और अगर आपको इसमें करियर बिल्ड करना है तो आप हमसे और जानकारी पा सकते हो. हम लोग आपको हेल्प करने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक है. थैंक यू सो मच. सो Pratyusha, you can continue with Deepayan, and also maybe you can summarize few points towards the end of the session in Hindi.
So Deepayan, let's continue with your journey in your career in AI and emerging technologies. Please continue.
Sure. First of all, I apologize for the disruption. Actually, the weather condition is bad over here. Anyway, so as I was saying, so I was working on the particular projects, mainly on the medical field, on the dentistry and the ophthalmology. The chatbots were made. And the second question that you asked about, like the personal project that I have thought of mine. So recently we know that we saw that a revolutionary image that got captured, which is of Sagittarius A star, so of our Milky Way galaxy. So like it's a revolutionary thing which we got after the introduction of AI to the system of cosmology, the interstellar spaces, or anything about the cosmology. So we are improving the devices, we are implementing AI over there so that we can get more clearer images, knowledges of it. So mainly I would like to pursue, or in future, I would like to make a own project of mine on the field of cosmology and implementing AI over there.
Yeah, that's really great to know, Deepayan. So before we get into our next question, let me just tell our audience that artificial intelligence has scope in various industries. Like जैसे कि Deepayan ने अभी कहा कि उनके फर्स्ट जॉब में ही वाज वर्किंग इन हेल्थ केयर, तो हेल्थ केयर के साथ साथ अदर इंडस्ट्री जैसे कि रिटेल या फिर रिटेल हो या फिर लॉजिस्टिक हो या फिर किसी भी इंडस्ट्री हो, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में जॉब रोल्स की डिमांड बहुत सारे इंडस्ट्रीज में है। तो अगर आप किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में इंटरेस्टेड है, पर्टिकुलर किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में इंटरेस्टेड है, जैसे कि दीपायन ने कहा कि वो आगे जाकर कॉस्मोलॉजी में अपना प्रोजेक्ट बनाना चाहते हैं, तो ऐसे अगर आप किसी भी डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री में इंटरेस्टेड है, फिर भी आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी के कोर्स लाइक स्किल्स एक्वायर करने के बाद आप अपना करियर उस इंडस्ट्री में परस्यू कर सकते हैं। So yeah, let's get into our next question, Deepayan. So could you please tell us about your experience, your placement experience after the completion of the program from IIT Hyderabad and TalentSprint? And also, I would like to know, like, would you recommend this course for the freshers who wants to pursue, like, wants to embark on a similar journey like you?
Sure. First of all, once the placement program already started before we got the result of the exam, of our last exams out. So it was pretty fast and we were proceeding. There were a lot of companies which were coming. We would get an email whenever we ever see a new company and there will be a link to apply over there. So basically once I would look up to all the emails and I applied to all the companies that they provided. And I also gave a lot of interviews before, but rejections, those came. So yeah, after that, once AT&T came, I applied for that as well. We got then we got the information of how the online exam will happen. So then once the online exam was over, so that was the screening round. After that, they took us for the interview process. So the interview was around for 1 hour and 30 minutes or so on. So there was a single interview that happened, which was also the final discussion round from there. So there I was asked about various things all at once. Like there was no particular context in which or any particular pattern that they were asking. So first they asked me about SDLC, which, software development life cycle. So there are some questions around that. After that, they went straight to the managerial section, like how I can manage any particular issue or how will I solve it, anything like that. So it was like a really random one. They will ask anything like from the vague, like from your childhood, like, tell me anything about your school life. So it went like that. It was not in a uniform manner. But yes, about the technical questions, they really focused on Linux and the Linux commands, the main commands which are used in CLI for data processing and any other works like artificial intelligence or anything like that. So apart from that, there was SQL, which was asked, and there will also the detailed requirement, which was given to us, and also guided by the TalentSprint placement department. That was really all that I researched on. And yes, there are a few questions which I missed. And also I thought that after, because it went in a way there, I just straight, I was sitting there and the interviewer asking me questions rapidly. So I was just in a same tone. I was answering him like a robot at the first. So the interviewer, I think, really got bored and told me that, yeah, bring some drama over here, something like that. So we went from really over that from a casual talks, like how was my childhood? How was the school life began? So they went really casual after that. And once all those things were over, like the last questions they asked me was, why should we hire you? So I had to detail up all the things that I said before, and I had to bring up a whole conclusion about how I was suitable for their company. And also I have my specific needs, which I told the company that I want to work in our R&D department. I want to be a data scientist in the future after completing my master's or even the PhD. So that was my dream. Also, that was I was discussing about. So in a way, it went really like a long talk about and in between something about context and whole things. I'm really sorry the condition of the weather is down, so this is happening. Let me turn off my video. I believe I'm audible.
Yeah, you are. And I guess we are also coming close to the the last question, I guess, right? We are close to winding up, right, Pratyusha?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Deepayan, would you want to continue, Deepayan?
No, sure. That's all from my end. I was saying in a way that went all. Really like the last hour of the conversation. It was like briefing up the whole thing. And then the interviewer didn't give me any feedback at that time. And after that, a day or tomorrow, the result came and I was selected. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so congratulations once again. Yeah, Pratyusha.
Thank you.
Continue.
Yes, ma'am. So as we are coming close to the end of our webinar today, so before, I would like to invite Ritvik to give us a few closing remark on the program. But before that, just for our audience who are keen to know these things in Hindi, I would like to just summarize a few things here and there. So जैसा कि हमने हमारे वेबिनार के स्टार्टिंग में कहा था कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड अदर इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज का डिमांड डे बाय डे बढ़ता ही जा रहा है. तो एंड 2022 में 96% से भी ज्यादा कंपनीज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में जो भी प्रोफेशनल स्किल्ड है, जिनके पास भी वो राइट स्किल सेट हायर करने की संभावना है. तो इसे मद्देनजर रखते हुए हमारा ये कॉन्वर्सेशन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के स्कोप को डिस्कस करना था. एंड आई एम श्योर कि दीपायन ने जो भी पॉइंट्स हमारे साथ शेयर किया है उससे हमारे ऑडियंस को एक आइडिया आ गया होगा कि कहाँ से शुरू करना है एंड कैसे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी के सारे स्किल सेट को बिल्ड करके अपने करियर में आगे बढ़ना है. So now I would like to invite Ritvik to say a few things about the program, and then we can go ahead and close this conversation for today.
Thanks, Pratyusha. So the fourth cohort of IIT Hyderabad professional certification program in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. And that the admissions for that is going to start, has already started. The cohort classes will start from June. So if you have not already applied, you can go to our website, talentsprint.com/AIET. You can visit the website there and you will find the complete information there. But the important points for anybody to remember is this is like a 6-month program. You can do it alongside whatever you're doing. If you're a working professional, you can do it along with your work. If you're a college student, you can do it along with your studies. And the cohort size is not very huge. We want to keep it small, about 100, 150, so that the interactions are very meaningful. You can get to interact with a very exceptional group of students coming from all over the country. Wonderful people like Deepayan. You get to meet in the course, and of course, like Deepayan mentioned, you get to interact very closely with the professors. You get to learn with them. You get to do projects with them. And if all goes well, looking at the COVID situation, we may also have a on-campus boot camp. We were able to have it last year. The year before that, unfortunately, we were not able to. I mean, it didn't happen on the schedule, but we were still able to invite them also. The idea is to actually give a complete IIT experience, right? Like you actually live the life of an IITian through this program. And of course, there is a placement support. We want to match the right profiles with the right kind of opportunities. And there's a separate team working on that. And we wish more and more opportunities come, and we're working towards that. That will be there. And there'll be a certification, which is from IIT Hyderabad, which is something you can showcase for the rest of your life. And that's something that is recognized across the world as well, right? So it is, I don't know if any of you know somebody who's gone abroad, you can interact with them. Like the idea is that, if you ask them, you're from India, if you're a student, they will ask, are you from IITs or any other college, right? So IITs have that distinction across the world. So this certification can take you to places, and through this program is one such opportunity like that. There is a fee for this, but there are also scholarships. If you do well in the selection test, then you can, there will be a scholarship as well. So I wish you all the best for that. And final message, there's no, right time or right amount of preparation for this, right? Like you can't really tell yourself that there's so much to prepare and wait. and say, no, you will take a long term or something. You just have to be alert for the test. The test doesn't require you to prepare any new subjects. These are all things which are already part of your high school mathematics and English language. So you just have to be alert for that exam and give your best. So my suggestion to all of you is to immediately go to the website, get the information, apply, book a test slot, prepare mentally, and then just give your best for the selection test. Once you are qualified and you have the opportunity to join, then it's just, next 6 months you have to just dedicate it yourself and do well in the test, do well in the throughout the program, and then you have wonderful opportunities that follow. So and that's all I would like to say now.
Yeah, thank you, Ritvik, for summarizing so neatly and sharing a lot of information that can help aspirants, like who could be students or also job seekers who might want to change their jobs by doing a course, which is in artificial intelligence. And Pratyusha, thank you for hosting it so well, the entire coordination, and Ajay also thanks, and of course Aziz. And from NSN and also in collaboration with TalentSprint, we were quite excited because this was the first webinar which we conceptualized and hosted. We would like to hear from all of you. Even if you're not watching it live, this webinar is going to be there on our YouTube for later watching. Okay, so do watch and share your queries and questions. You can write to us at contact@nationalskillsnetwork.com, or you can get in touch with us on social media. We would be very happy to help you with information in case AI and emerging technologies, that is artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, is the area you wish to explore and equip yourself with knowledge and skills for a very bright, lucrative career in the industry. Thank you all. Thank you, Deepayan. A big special thanks for being with us today and sharing your entire story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.